you need to make sure that you got this U shape. So a lot of low end, a lot of top end, and a little bit less in the mid compartment. Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to the studio. Today I'm in the office. Today is Monday, so an entire boring business day taking care of all the things that piled up over the weekend. And my speakers are still not working. I still didn't get the new speakers. I still don't even have a date when the new speakers will arrive. So I think the only reason why I will step into the studio today is just to do another edition of Track Submits. So yeah, welcome to Track Submits, the little segment within my daily vlog where I listen to your music and give you feedback. Today we will explore another 5 songs by young and new producers in different styles. And I'm a little ashamed I have to use headphones in my studio. But yeah, I'm not using the Adam A5X. They're working, I could place them there, but I don't like listening to music on them. There's just no bass, no fun, so I actually prefer the headphones over these. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right into the first track by Orafim called The Humanity with 140 BPM. So here the first part of the song has a little bit too much bass. It's overwhelming, taking away space of the mix. And I think there's like this gap, this gap between 60 Hertz and maybe 200 Hertz. An element is missing there. And for my taste, the piano that sits on top is too high. So maybe just lower it by an octave. Fill out that like upper bass kind of part with the lower notes of the piano. And have more room in the middle for the main synthesizer sound, so it doesn't have to sound that thin. This was by Jojo Moa, a song called Pellegrino. It's more into an underground, techy, but very moody and like slow ambient kind of underground music. I actually like it. Mixing wise, there are a couple of problems. First of all, you can see in the graph that it's all like shifted. There's a ton of low end and just a tiny bit of top end. That's usually not how you make underground music frequency distribution wise. You need to make sure that you got this U shape. So a lot of low end, a lot of top end, and a little bit less in the mid compartment. And if you make pop music, it's usually like kind of a straight line. Or if you make old school pop music, it might be even that the mid frequencies are emphasized. But having something that is tilted, either way, it just means there's either too little low end or too much top end, and both sounds really weird. One sounds thin and the other one overloaded and just bad and kind of like an amateur producing music, putting way too much bass in there. Definitely the #1 mistake most music producers do. Here I would just suggest to raise the elements that are sitting in the top frequency parts, like the hi-hats, the effect sounds, maybe even the snare a little louder. And from the musical part, it's a little repetitive, but for this kind of music it actually works, because it's like kind of like from the repetition it becomes very hypnotic. And I think for underground club music that's definitely something you want to achieve. So next up by Demi Studio, a song called Future Bass Chill. Okay, first of all, not a bad track, but also necessarily not really, like, I don't know, it's like, it's a style I heard a million times, like everyone is producing at the moment like this. There seems to be a watermark in it, like a female computer kind of voice. Maybe someone of you knows what it is and why it's in there. It's really weird and distracting. Also here we got again like a tilted mix. The low end isn't really there. They're missing like 5 dB in the kick and bass compartment. The rest is actually quite fine, but it's again like quietschig. It's, I don't know, it's not my thing. Next up by Calaf, Childhood Friends. Here it's quite muddy, especially like the low end isn't really done in the right way. The kick, you can't really hear it, and that's actually important for electronic music, so try to sidechain the other things to make the kick stand out. Raise it in volume, maybe change it to another sample, and then the lower bass compartment, yeah, it's just like mushy. There's some elements that weren't low cutted, so it's overload and it just doesn't sound really nice. Song wise, I don't really see a structure. Arrangement wise also not, so yeah, please fix the arrangement and mixing, especially in the low end. Try to make it simpler, just kick, bass and maybe some hi-hat and then go from there. It's a lot easier than having so many elements in there than trying to fix all of them. If you're starting out to produce, just limit yourself to maybe 5 elements at the beginning and make them work before you try to squeeze in even more. And with this song and all of the other songs, I kind of have the feeling they all know each other. They're making like a very similar kind of style of music. It seems like everyone is doing this kind of stuff right now. That is also played a lot on the bigger YouTube music channels that are into this kind of music. For me, again, like too quietschig. But let's see if the last one is offering us something new. Really nice build up. I really like this song. I think it's actually the best, at least for today. I'm missing a little bit in the low end. It could be raised, like kick bass could be louder, 3 to 5 dB even, and I think it would give it a lot stronger low end and make it punchier. Other than that, really good. I like the chords, the sound of the chords and how they kind of wobble. The only thing I don't like is again the main synthesizer sound. It's like personal preference. It's again quietschig. I think now I really have to look it up. I've used it so many times in today's vlog. It's like, you know, those little things you squeeze and then the sound they make. It's very similar in English to squeak, like squeaky. It's like, you know, like this toys you and then like, and that's kind of what all of these songs have a little. I personally don't like it. Maybe some people are into it. I know a lot of people produce in this kind of way at the moment, but I want music to be either like emotional or cool and very organized and clean. I don't like it being hectic and squeaky. It's not my thing. I don't know. It's like personal preference again, so do whatever you feel like. But mixing wise, most of them need to get the overall balance right between like the top end and the low end. It should be balanced to have a nice rich song. So thanks a lot for watching. That's already it for today's edition of Track Submits. If you're interested to send your songs, there's a link down below in the description where you can submit your song. I will listen to it, give you feedback, and it might even end up here in this little show, and you might be able to also get feedback by the other people watching down below in the comments. I think I will give away another 50 entrances to the Sine Discord server where you can exchange your songs, get feedback by other producers, and also trade reposts on SoundCloud and for Spotify playlists. So if you're interested in that, link is also in the description, and we'll see us tomorrow back again to a normal vlog. Tomorrow it will be back to construction because I now got the fabric for the back wall. I mean, you can see it's still not done. This will change tomorrow into another color. The same also here with the corner absorbers. And maybe if we have the time, we will also be able to fix the upstairs room and also put fabric on there or just onto the vocal booth that is behind that absorber. Anyways, see you tomorrow. Sign out.